All right.
Hi, Robert.
All right.
Good to go?
Yep.
Okay, so just like we talked about, you're being asked to leave the building and not return for 24 hours. It's 3/17, we'll call it. Today is the 8th of November, so that would be effective until 3/17 on the 9th of November. Tomorrow, if you need to conduct official business before that point, you'll need to call ahead and make arrangements in order to do that. We'll get I'm going to work with the security guy here to get the building manager to prepare the written notice of trespass you requested. We'll get that mailed out to you. Do you want me to send that, or them to send that to the Emerson address that you provided previously? Okay, so we'll have that mailed to you. Do you have any other questions for me about what occurred today or why or anything like that?
No. I mean, I got to wear my body cams just like you got to use yours. You know,
it's a fair analogy, and what I would tell you is that there are circumstances in which, while my policy requires me to record interactions with people on a day-to-day basis, there are kind of reasonable exceptions imposed on that. I would not record business transactions ongoing inside the Department of Revenue. I would not record like inside a courtroom because the judge's order is not to record inside the courtroom, right? So when I go in there, I turn my body camera off. When I go in public restrooms, I turn my body camera off. And so while I respect your right to record in public spaces, I respect your right, in general, walking around in public, to have a camera running just like most police officers do these days. I would ask that you would respect communicated restrictions on that, like when you're in buildings where financial transactions are ongoing, or you're inside a courtroom, or you're inside private offices at the Capitol. That's all.
Yeah, they actually did say that. We have private rooms. If you feel like you need to record while you're doing your business, we can talk to them, and they can pretend have someone come in there and talk to you. We can work that out. You just gotta communicate with us.
Yeah, the problem is I need it stamped, and I don't think they got a stamp in there.
I'm sure they will make. I'm sure they will make accommodations. So if you want to conduct, it sounds like a reasonable offer. If you want to conduct your business with a representative from Revenue in a private office, just make that request when you arrive, before you get into the area where other people are transacting business. Because I'm sure you can understand. Like, you were talking to me just previously outside of our office. You seem like you're, being a reasonable guy at that time. You don't want your social security number or your record or anything like that posted on somebody else's YouTube. I don't want mine posted on YouTube. And that's all we're trying to prevent today.
Right.
And I think that's a reasonable request. I hope that you'll be able to comply with that in the future. But if you continue to come down here and try to record that type of information, whether it's just kind of maliciously complying by standing on the other side of the tape and pointing your camera over into the business area, or whether it's just outright ignoring the request and walking up to that area while your camera's recording, we will remove you from the building. I anticipate that the building manager will take progressively more severe actions. It's not my decision, but he's been pretty lenient in asking you to be removed for 24-hour periods twice now. I would anticipate seeing something more like a week or a month or longer, potentially even a permanent removal if you continue to not comply with that, because they can't invest all these resources in just chasing you around.
Yeah, a permanent removal is illegal. That's already been that's under Walsh versus the City of Portland. Because Joe Walsh was permanently trespassed from City Hall, and a federal judge said, "Yeah, you can't do that."
Interesting. Well, I'm glad to know that. I'm also glad that I'm not the one that has to make those kind of decisions about the revenue building. So, any other questions at all?
No, that's it. I mean, I'm going to walk out, and I suspect you guys will walk out with me to the property line to make sure that I do what I got to do, and you do what you got to do, and there's no problem.
The building, in my understanding, so when you're outside the doors, I'm not too worried about it. I asked you the question earlier when we were over at the office, but I'll ask it to you again because we've got another interaction. Any concerns on an individual basis about our interaction or your interaction with any of my troopers today? No,
it's been, other than being trespassed from a public building, which is
fully understandable.
It's they've already determined that anything that you see in a public place can be videotaped and recorded and stuff like that.
And I think where our communication is potentially requires some improvement is just helping you understand the definition of what is publicly subject to recording and what's not. Okay?
All right.
Thank you for your conversation, and see you out.
All right. How you doing today? Now I'll turn my body cam off.